everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Listy Racecraft, and today we're going to talk about grading. So the main purpose of grading is to make sure that all riders of like ability are able to compete safely together. Couple of reasons why we do it. It ensures a competitive race, essentially, within those grades. There's nothing worse than turning up to a grade and you're on the start line, or turning up to a race, you're on the start line, knowing full well that there's no chance of you at all making the podium, because there's people that are far faster than you are, and you're competing against them. So in grading, hopefully all riders of like ability will be together. It also makes things a little bit safer in that it should minimize regular passing and overtaking, simply because the people within those grades are of similar speed and similar ability. So the grades themselves, men's A, B, C, D, women's A and B, and obviously we'd hope to increase the number of women's grades as our numbers increase. But generally speaking, if you're looking at an A grade rider, they would be fairly experienced. They've been racing for quite a while. They take their racing pretty seriously. They're pretty fit, and they've got a fairly high ability in terms of technical riding ability and their skills. As you move down the grades, through B, through C, down to D, generally speaking, a D grade rider might be quite new to cycling and racing, or they might simply be a less fit weekend warrior type of rider. They might race for, or might ride for a couple of Sundays a month, and that would be about it. Or perhaps they're returning from injury. They've been off the bike for a little bit and they're making their way back up the grades. It's important to remember that grading is not meant to be a static system. You are meant to move your way up and down through the grading system as your abilities develop and alter. So, for example, if you begin to podium in C grade quite regularly, perhaps it's time to move yourself up to B grade. Listy will very rarely move a rider down a grade. So, for example, you're in B grade and you are regularly at the bottom of B grade. That's entirely fine. You're not affecting those that are competing for podium. If you wanted to compete for podium, you might move yourself down to C grade, but we would very rarely move you down. On the other hand, if you were regularly podiuming in C grade, you're coming first by a fair margin every time, and you don't move yourself up, we might move you up. It's not cool to keep yourself in a lower grade simply to win the chocolates. So hopefully that is a fairly easy understanding of grading. If you've got any comments, any questions, pop them down below and I'll do my best to answer. Until next time, thank you for your attention.